This is the Ezra Walk and Talk, and I have a shirt on this time due to popular demand. You know what I mean? People they prefer the shirt. That's disappointing to me on my confidence, but it's helpful advice for the video. I got to be honest with you. Now, let's get to talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. That's coming this weekend. That's a big fight. That's a fight that it should be considered really a 50-50 fight. But it doesn't feel like the fans think this is a 50-50 fight. It kind of seems like everybody's leaning Josh Taylor's way. But there is one important group that's not leaning Josh Taylor's way. There is one important group that is calling this a 50-50 fight, and that's Vegas. The Vegas odds have this as pretty much a 50-50 fight, if not a 50-50 fight. Now, me just like thinking when their fight was made, or just not really like looking at the film or anything like that, just thinking about this fight, just doesn't feel like a 50-50 fight. It just feels like everything is leaning in Josh Taylor's favor. So what is Vegas seeing? What are the odds makers seeing that making this a 50-50 fight? And a lot of times it's styles, right? And it's, what does Teofimo need to do to win? What does he want to do to win? What does Josh Taylor want to do to win? And who is it easier for that person to get in that position to win the fight? That's kind of what it comes down to, right? When you look at a fight. And the thing is, the truth is when we seen Teofimo last, we saw him kind of struggle. And that was against a guy that he had to chase, right? It was a guy that was not going to stand there in front of him, not going to let him explode into his spots. And then you see him lose, right, against Kambosos. And Kambosos kind of moved around the ring at that point. And Teofimo chose to be super aggressive in that fight and really forced the action. And he walked into a lot of stuff and got dropped doing that. Even got dropped by Sandor Martin walking into something, right? But against Josh Taylor, he's not going to have to chase Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's going to come right at Teofimo. So if he's going to come right at Teofimo, that means he's going to give Teofimo what he wants to do. And so at the worst case, Teofimo is at least going to be at a place where he is known to have success. At the worst case, he's going to be in a place where he's known to have success. Because he's going to be able to explode, pick his shots as Josh Taylor comes in. Now, so that's where I'm thinking that where the odds are, right? Is that both guys are kind of going to be doing what they want to do in the fight, because also Josh Taylor's not going to have to chase anyone. Josh Taylor's going to be able to get to Teo, right? Because Teo likes to set his feet. He likes to explode off of that. But another thing where I think that the odds maker might be seeing is, what did we see Josh Taylor last, right? Struggling with Catterall. And what does Catterall do? He boxes. But he also picks his spots. He also looks to hold his ground but keep a distance, right? He's not like running around the ring, no. But he's good at just, I'm going to keep at this distance. I'm gonna hold you with my jab. He kind of out-jabbed Josh, and he kept hitting him with that straight left. Well, Teofimo, right? He likes to hold his ground, but he likes to hold his distance. And if you walk in, he likes to make you pay. And he could jab, right? Even though it's a southpaw versus righty in this fight, he could jab. And if he does out-jab Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor for some reason can't get in the rhythm like he did last fight, then he might struggle and he might get stuck at the end of Teofimo's punches. And the only difference, the big difference when it comes to Catterall and Teofimo is the speed, the precision, but the power is very important. The power that Teofimo has when he keeps you at the end of the punch, when he explodes into shots, and when he could hit you with the 1-2, because he's pretty good with the 1-2. It could be a game changer. Another thing has to be Josh Taylor's weight. Now, Josh Taylor, that was the thing, right? He's struggling to make weight. He looked dead in the Catterall fight. That was the excuse of why he put on that kind of performance, right? Because he was dead. His weight, he couldn't make it. He was not the same fighter. So now it's been a long time since then. He's at the same weight. Is he going to make weight in a comfortable fashion this time, right? So these are all the things that I think that the odds maker are looking at, and they're saying, hey, this guy, Teofimo Lopez, he's still in this fight. He can still very well win this fight. There's a lot of things that could go in his direction to win the fight. And I agree. After looking at it closely, I agree. There are things that he could do to win this fight. But am I going to pick him to win the fight? No. And I agree that maybe Teofimo Lopez's downfall is mainly due to bad PR. So you have him at the end of the Sandor Martin fight, and he asks, hey, do I still have it? Every time he gets an interview, he sounds like he lost his mind. He's, being pretty much openly racist. He's, his dad's a lunatic in the corner. But if you really think about it, right, and that's just all the things you hear, right, and you hear that he's getting beat up in sport, all these things you hear. The Ciampa fight, I don't think he looked that bad, honestly. I thought he looked pretty damn good, actually. And Ciampa was just tough. And Ciampa goes on to me, should have beat Brandon Lee. I thought he had that decision, got robbed. Sandor Martin's a tough fighter. He's a tricky fighter. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not like everyone else. I didn't think Sandor Martin was robbed in that fight. I thought Teofimo won the fight. I thought he won the fight. Clearly. I thought Sandor Martin, sure, made a mess of it. Avoided a fight, kind of. And Teofimo took what he could give him. It took what he could get and won the fight. The Kambosos fight, I thought was a bad performance. I thought he was overly arrogant, overly confident, overly aggressive, and just no game plan and no way to adjust. So that happened. But maybe his downfall was just really what it is. It's just so much bad publicity and PR that you're just thinking like, this guy must be washed. And then you kind of look at it and you're like, well, maybe not really. But I'm still not picking him. I'm still picking Josh Taylor. Because even though all those things that I said that could go in Teofimo's way, I still think Josh Taylor is not the guy that fought Catterall. No, you could say that's because of weight. I like to think it has something to do maybe with weight and strategy as far as fighting aggressive, being in front of your home fans, and just getting out of your game. I've seen it happen to numerous guys. But I think that the Josh Taylor that fought Prograis is still there. I think that Josh Taylor is kind of one of the more disrespected guys in boxing because people just don't seem to rate him that high when he's done a lot more work than a lot of other guys. And he's proven himself at a higher level than a lot of other guys, right? He's beaten Jose Ramirez in Prograis. Those 2 wins alone are better than most guys. And beat Ramirez emphatically, right? Beat Prograis, I thought he won the decision. I scored it for him, right? And those are tough fights, tough matchups. And he came out on top of those. And I think that he is going to get on Teofimo Lopez. Now, maybe does he struggle early, right? Does Teofimo look sharp early? Does Teofimo catch him with shots? Sure. But there's a point where is Teofimo can stay consistent with that. And Josh Taylor, who likes to get in on you. And that's the part where a guy like Teofimo, who's athletic and likes to react, and is going to use his athleticism to create his openings and for his defense, and is going to counter you and look to place big shots by timing and athleticism mostly. Well, you could take a lot of that away and make it a lot less useful when you're right on someone. Because when you're reacting from someone that's 5 feet away from you, you're going to react better than a guy that's 2 feet away from you, that's 1 foot away from you. Then you start not to see where the shots come from. Then the shots are coming at you a lot quicker, and more stuff's coming at you. And you could make one miss, but then you're not going to be fast enough with your body movement to make the second or third one miss. And that's where eventually Taylor will get. And Taylor, I think, will use his jab in this fight to get Teofimo to make his first reaction, right? Because that's what you want him to do. You want him to make his first reaction, and then you jump on that. So he cannot make the second reaction to adjust to you to get his shot off. I don't think Taylor's going to punch from far away. I think he's going to work his way in. He's going to march his way in. And even if Teofimo has success early, it will begin to get frustrating for him. He will begin to feel the pressure, feel the shots, feel defeat, and he will not be able to look to his corner to say, hey, let's get my mind right. Let's calm this down. Let's show composure. Let's get in the second half of this fight and adjust and catch a second win. He won't have that. And when that goes, and when the comfort goes, and when it's starting to look negative for him, he will fold under that. I don't believe he's mentally strong. I don't believe his corner is, very good tactically. I think that they want a lot of things on Teofimo's talent and athleticism, and I don't know if it's diminished as much as maybe I previously thought, but it's definitely not at its best, and it's definitely at its most shakiest it's ever been. And I think that as the fight goes on and the fight starts getting closer and uglier and more, you need a lot of heart and you need a lot of mental strength. And Josh Taylor is getting on the inside and he's really working them. He's precision with those shots on the inside, but he's right on you. I just don't think Teofimo's going to survive that. I'm going to pick Josh Taylor. I'm going to pick him by stoppage. I'm going to say 9th round stoppage for Josh Taylor. And it's going to be interesting to see where Teofimo goes from here. May not be with Top Rank anymore. May be with him. I don't know. but he's definitely going to look like diminished goods after this fight, and he's definitely not doing himself any favor PR-wise. So we're going to see where he goes from there. And Josh Taylor is also an interesting spot because there's not a lot left for him, honestly. And kind of careers, kind of hoping that maybe Devin Haney stays with Top Rank, fights him at 140. Because when he goes 147, Top Rank don't have no one. He stays at 140 with Jose Ramirez, possibly. I don't think we're going to get any other fight where he gets across the street. So it's an interesting spot. I think Josh Taylor wins. I think that he's going to get in there and break Teofimo eventually, even if Teofimo starts off strong. And like I said, I don't think Teofimo's as diminished or as not as sharp as he once was, but I definitely think that this is the type of fight and style and the type of fighter in front of him that is probably just going to end up being a nightmare at the end of the day. This has been the Raw Walk and Talk. Please follow, like, subscribe, all those good things. Deuces.